Hello and welcome to Jen's Ink Spot. I'm so glad to have you here today. Today I want to show you how I made the little stem leaves on this card. You can see that the little tiny leaves that I've stamped on the stems have patterns on them, and this comes from a solid stamp. Many of you probably already know this technique, but I just want to show you how to get a little bit more from your stamps. The solid leaf images that I'm going to use for this card are from Just Wonderful Floral Stamp Set and Be Wild Stamp Set from Catherine Pooler. And then I'm also using two leaf images that are patterned from Just Wonderful Floral Stamp Set also. So I'm working with both solid and patterned for this card. The Just Wonderful Floral Stamp Set looks like this. You can see it has solid stamps in it, and it also has stamps that you can stamp over the top, and I've used several of those in this card. The forest foliage stamps, that is also a new release, would make perfect patterns for this technique also. I did not use them on this card, but they would be great for this technique as well. Just any solid and any patterned stamp will work for what we're going to do here. So now what I'm going to do is take my solid leaf image and I'm going to stamp it into Coral Cabana ink, and then I'm going to kiss it right on top of my pattern leaf image. So what it does is it takes some of that ink off where there was a pattern on the other stamp, and so then when I stamp it onto my cardstock, you can see how the pattern is now on a leaf image that was solid, and so it just kind of changes things up a little bit, gives you a little extra mile out of your stamps. I'm going to do the same thing with a different image. This one I'm going to stamp in Be Mine ink, and I'm going to kiss it onto a different pattern and then stamp it onto my premium white cardstock, also from Catherine Pooler. And you can see again the image that is stamped once I kiss it onto that image. This one I kind of moved around just a little bit, so it got a little bit smeared. Here is a solid stamp again. This is one of the flowers from the set, and again it's a nice solid image, so you can use the same technique with that. I did not use it on this card, however I just want to show you how you can also change up some of the flower images in this set as well. And so I'm going to stamp it onto Rondi's window background stamp. That's just such a beautiful detailed image, and so I'm going to use Be Mine ink again. I'm going to stamp it onto this image, which is called Kissing It, and I'm picking a portion of the stamp that has a lot of detail. So then when I stamp this onto my cardstock, you can see the detail that is now in that solid image. It's just such a cool look. You could do this for all sorts of different cards and ideas and patterns, and just change up your stamps and make them go a lot farther. Now I'm going to stamp my solid little flower image in Pixie Dust ink, and then I'm going to take one of the flowers. This is a size bigger than the flower that it's meant to be stamped with. I'm going to kiss it right onto that flower, and then I'm going to stamp it. And so this gives you a similar look to what the stamp set was intended for, but yet it's still going to change up how it ends up looking altogether. So here is how that ends up looking. It's just a pretty flower, but yet it has a different look than how it would be if you stamped another image directly on top. And then if you stamp what's left of the ink, you can see how it's picked up the ink from that solid stamp, and then it's left over onto that stamp that you could use again if you'd like. So here again is a close-up image of the way that I stamp the leaves using the kissing technique that I just showed you. Just want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you'll visit my blog, jensinkspot.blogspot.com. Thanks so much for joining me today.